Welcome back to our channel and another live stream today. Something a bit more different because I'm still waiting for the power pack for the Unray box, which is due in today from Amazon. So that might appear while we do a live stream. Never know. But last time we got another part turned up in the middle of the stream, so that was quite a good timing. May happen again this time around. But no, we're talking about the Acer laptop we have here. It's an old one. It's a bit knackered now. Missing keys. It's not worth spending any more money on. So the person I'm doing this for, which is obviously part of the family, she's got another laptop which we had to take out the memory the other day because this module's gone, obviously causing a problem. It won't allow it to boot. When we're taking it out, it now boots, so there's obviously an issue. So she's memory down. So what we're trying to do is we're going to take this, because she's no longer got the other bits and pieces for it, take the RAM out of it, see if the RAM is the same for the other machine, which is a Dell machine. But it's same speed of RAM and it's compatible with it. We're going to take it out of this one and install it in the other box, so then she's got more RAM in her machine, because at the moment it's running a bit slow on 2 GB of RAM, because it's because the Dell is over 10 years old. It's a bit sluggish, and I did say to her it'd be cheaper to get it up to 8 GB of RAM and put an SSD drive in it. It's so much more faster than what it currently is. But no, this Acer's, I think it's got a motherboard issue as well, hence why we're not going to get this up and running or working. So we're going to do a little bit of a tear down. We want to get to the RAM inside this. So I've got my trusty tools. I've got all my screwdrivers that I need to do this with, and I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can have a look at me taking it apart. So yeah, so the keyboard on this one, because sometimes you can get to the keyboard and there's normally some screws behind that, but this keyboard's actually under the case. It's not actually on top of the case, like not most keyboards are. So we have to start underneath. So let me turn it around. Sorry if the audio is a bit messy because I haven't got my wireless mics on, plus I've got the aircon in the background going because it's quite hot in the man cave itself. It's actually 21 degrees, but the temperature is coming down with that machine switched on. So let's turn the camera around so you can actually see what I'm doing. So bear with us a sec. So I hope you can see that actually. So I may not be able to see you guys' comments, so you're gonna have to I'll have to read them later anyway. But yeah, so we're just locating all the screws. So far they're coming up. Some of them are a bit stiffer than the others. So getting there. It's got tons of screws. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 screws to undo. You know, on this case, it's a nightmare. Some are actually missing. Actually, there's a few screws actually missing. So these machines are old. So if they're old and functioning, you can put find out how much RAM's in it. Find what's the maximum amount of RAM you can actually stick in the machine, and upgrade it. So if you've got 4, but the machine can take 8, I will put 8 in there, and that gives you a little bit of speed. You can't change the processor on most of these laptops because they all tend to be literally soldered onto the board, so you can't just remove it like a PC you could. So I'll find out how much RAM you can stick in it. So you've got 4, but it can take 8. Upgrade it to 8. You might have to move modules to put a whole stick of 8 in there. And the next thing I would upgrade is the hard drive. Take the standard hard drive out and replace it with an SSD drive. Now that'll give you a fair bit of speed back, or make it a bit more quicker anyway. At least that'll give you another year or 2 out of it, at least. So that way you don't have to go and buy a brand new laptop. Just buy a few components to get it back up and running again. Also, what helps to keep your machine running a bit more smoother is every so often, I do about every 6 months, is I wipe my machine down, format the drives, and reinstall Windows on it. So over the 6 months period where you're installing applications, then you're taking applications off, you're not removing everything from the system, and eventually the system slowly slows down over time. So it's always good every now and again, or when the machine's feeling a bit sluggish, is format it, obviously back your data up first, and then reinstall Windows, and you get a bit of speed back. So I think it's actually just we've got these 4 here, 4 more to go. They're all the same size, so that's good. Always when you're taking things apart, take a nice photograph of it so you know where things go, especially when you start taking components out, always take a picture of what it looks like first, and then a nice shot of the area you're working in, so you can remember which goes back. If the screws are slightly different size, make note of where the screws go. That's always important as well. So this should just lift off, I'm hoping. That just slides out or lifts up. So it doesn't really matter if I screw this up because it's going to be chucked anyway. So we'll try and prise it open a little bit. No, that's it. There we go. Little gentle. Yeah, it's got little clips around the side there. So just gently peel it off. So I'm working out. Oh, it's actually the top bit. Here we go. So open it up. So this bit comes up. There we go. So you've got to be careful when you do it, because obviously this is underneath, which is already taken off anyway. So I've already got to this anyway. I have it actually. I have opened this up before because of the taking the drive out of it. But oh, this is interesting. I may not be able to use the RAM in this because I've got a feeling the RAM on this is actually soldered onto the main board, because there's no RAM module here at all. So that's the keyboard and the touchpad. Nice big touchpad there. That's the keyboard, and underneath, there you go. Keyboard, touchpad, cable for the touchpad, and cable for the keyboard. Nothing else underneath here. So that's that. And then here we've got motherboard. We've got the wireless module here. We've got the CPU fan thing here. We've got the SD card read here, and it's a USB port on the side there. Hard drive's not in here, and no RAM. This is unscrewed off, so this should just come out. So that's this is the DVD CD-ROM drive. Yeah, and it looks like the RAM is actually built onto the motherboard, built onto this little bit here. This is the battery. Well, that's quite a slimline battery. Oh, that's part of this bit here. Yeah, so we can't use RAM in this, it's built on. Okay, so at least this Acer machine is not upgradable for RAM at all, because it's not actually. I'm going to actually see if I can get the main board up, so I can get this board up, but it's quite heavily. Let's see if we can get this up, just to see, make sure it's not just underneath. Get the right screws to this. Okay, we're going to go nose. So we're going to pull these components up. Should just flip up. Cool. This one should just undo. That's a bit tight. I'm going to do it in a minute. So we've got one screw there. It can't be just that's it. Oh, I'm going to do that screw there. Brings it up. The fans will come up as well. What does this work? There we go. Fan up. Looks like it's all one piece. Comes up. That should then. It's all stuck down. That comes out. Okay, move this up now. So we've got this connector here to come off, and this one here. Some of this is actually quite glued on. Set it off. And so another cable down here, tied in. It's all like part and parcel. Take that module off. That comes out. There you go. So that's the main board out. So, and then over the other side, there we go. So we've got, oh look, the BIOS battery's just fallen out. Oh, and there's the RAM. So the RAM is here 1 stick of RAM, and that's, oh, it's a 4 gig actually, one single 4 gig. So that's actually going to be a big increase because the RAM originally taken out of the other machine is a 2 gig. So she's going to get in theory 6 gig in a machine. So out of that, so there you go. So you've got, we're actually going to take this right apart actually. So there's the RAM I want. So we know the RAM in this machine was okay. So hopefully it is the same speed as the other one. So we'll keep that RAM. And what I'm going to do is, because that's the fan. It's a very tiny. Look how thin that fan is. Very thin. Very clean actually. Because normally you get a lot of like shit around here and gunk here as well, where people sit it down on their beds or their laptops and picks up fluff and stuff. Yeah, there's not much to this board. So on the end here we got the wireless module, which comes out. Very basic. So as far as I know, that all works still. Yeah, only got one single, so you can only upgrade that probably maximum to, well, gig I suppose, maximum this one is. So we're going to undo these because this will reveal the CPU on the, see if it's actually soldered on, or whether it is in its own little thing, but I've got to finish this soldered onto the board anyway, like most laptops are. Let's be nosy. And we can look at the actual, this heatsink, how it works. We've got a fan header there. Off we go. So that's the fan. That's obviously what touches the CPU itself. I suppose in a way, I mean, these are always left switched on, and I think, to be honest, it's quite good every so often if you're able to get into a machine, is take this off your CPU and wipe all this nice and clean, and same off the CPU as well, and reapply new stuff back onto it. Sometimes this over time it gets all gloopy, goes hard, and then goes brittle, and ends up slowly losing contact with the CPU, hence why it starts overheating. So it's always good to take this off, give this a really good clean out and hoover out and stuff, spend a bit of time on it, and take your time on it as well. Wipe all this stuff off on there, reapply it, put it all back on there and back in there, and that might help a little bit more keeping your processor cool, you never know. But yeah, so there's the heatsink. So this thing here, obviously it's covered, yeah, it's covered underneath, so it's metal covered, only exposing the parts it requires. Then heating this back plate up, which goes round the fan here, cooling it off, you know. So that's all your thermal stuff, shit. So there's that, and that's actually the motherboard for the whole laptop. So you've got all this space here for this little motherboard here. So there's your CPU, your RAM module, your BIOS, your battery for your backup and BIOS, most of the ports, Ethernet, HDMI, USB as well. I think that's audio on that side, and your wireless module on there. That's a slot for your DVD on there, and that's about it. It's not a lot there, really, is it? So this is the component that's actually knackered and stuff. Be interesting actually. We buy. So it's definitely on the boards. There's no way you can replace the CPU off of that. It is required. That's what a lot of people say. It's like, you know, oh, can you upgrade my CPU? It's not always that case. It's upgrading the whole motherboard. And these pieces can cost a lot of money, especially if it gets older and older. These will go for a good price on eBay. So it's not in theory worth money to upgrade them rather than just go and buy a new machine, you know. It's great when the time they're still very much supported and still very much in the market, because then these are still very much at a normal price. But when they start becoming very old, very hard to get hold of, people do sell these for a lot of money. But yeah, so yeah, so that's it. So that's the offer there. I'm not going to put all that back because it's mostly a knackered machine anyway, so there's no point actually reassembling it at all. So we only took it apart to get to the RAM that we wanted. At one point I thought there was no RAM in it because you couldn't see it. So it's definitely hidden and buried away. That does require a complete taken away. Yeah, because there's no window underneath it to get to. So it's definitely taken a whole board out to get to the RAM on it, which is not for everybody sort of type of person who would upgrade it. So it would definitely require some professional person or shop that would do it for you if that's the case. But yeah, so I might, yeah, so that's it. So that's what we need. So all we're going to do is work out if this 4 gig SIM will work on the new Dell machine, which I think it will do, because they're very much there. Sodium, that's PCL, that's PC2, this is PC3, so maybe there might be an issue with it. So I'm going to actually install it and see if it actually works, otherwise it'll winch at me. But I think that the Dell one's easy to do. So we'll put this to one side and we'll do it live now. Put that out of the way. So let's get the Dell out. Dell's here as well. So if it does work, I've got a feeling it may not work with the other. Sometimes with RAM, it don't like mix matching different products. You always have to put the same setting to work nicely. But we may be able to get out of that. This one's easy because this has got a couple of screws and this whole thing comes off. So let's get down to this. So this is the Dell. It's a Dell Latitude, I think. It's a Dell Latitude ES1-512. Again, quite over 10 years old, still working, and it's actually running Windows 10 on it, so it's not bad for its age. So I think we've got 2 screws to undo here, maybe 3. No, it's not many. Let's get those 2 out, 2 there, and 3. Yeah, just 3. So I need a bit more. This one in the middle, spring loaded. It's got a spring on it, and then I can then pull. That should just lift up. And I'm doing a live stream. And we're going to slot this one in here. I can't because it's got a different, you can see that it's got a different pins. So it's not going to be compatible. So there we go. So that's all I can do. Took it apart. RAM doesn't want to fit. It's back to square one again. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next one. Cheers.